Hello, in today's video I will be discussing mythology and flowers. So this is kind of random. I just decided to put this together because it was on my mind, so why not share? So today I'm looking at the flower dianthus, also known as carnation, or more commonly known as a carnation. So dianthus is related to the god Zeus because its genus name is derived from the Greek words dios, meaning of Zeus, or divine, and anthos, meaning flower. This name translates to flower of Zeus or divine flower and was first cited by the Greek botanist Theophrastus. The name dianthus literally means flower of Zeus. It is a genus of flowering plants that includes carnations, pinks, and sweet williams. The name was coined by the Greek botanist Theophrastus. And as we know, Zeus is often equated with similar deities in other mythologies, such as Jupiter in Roman mythology and Enlil in Sumerian mythology, both of whom are also gods of the sky and thunder. These gods share attributes of power, authority, and control over weather phenomena, reflecting a common archetype across various cultures. And of course, our Norse equivalent of Zeus is Odin, the All-Father, who is also a chief deity and shares similarities in aspects such as being associated with storms and also, woohoo, justice. We like justice, right? Both gods hold significant roles in their respective mythologies, with Odin being known for wisdom and magic, while Zeus is the ruler of gods on Mount Olympus. And now we will take a look at the flower dianthus here, and all these beautiful specimens. They are just gorgeous. Look at these. And they smell really good. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. It's this very sweet scent that they give out. Look at how beautiful this is. Look at those jagged edges too. Look at those bright colors. It's just candy for the eye. Right? Look at that. We got some purple action here. Absolutely beautiful. So taking a look at the etymology of the dianthus, the name dianthus is from the Greek, a compound from the words dios, of Zeus, and anthos, flower, and was cited by the Greek botanist Theophrastus. The color pink may be named after the flower coming from the frilled edge of the flowers. The verb to pink dates from the 14th century and means to decorate with a perforated or punched pattern, as demonstrated by the name of pinking shears, special scissors for cloth that create a zigzag or decorative edge that discourages fraying. Alternatively, pink may be derived from the Dutch pinksteren, alluding to the season of flowering. Pinksteren meaning Pentecost in Dutch. Thus, the color may be named after the flower rather than the flower after the color. And we also know that lightning bolts are depicted as also in a zigzag pattern, which is also interesting given this information here. And just taking a look at the flower, we see that it is unique in that it does have the petals in that zigzag pattern. And of course, the planet Jupiter, which is the equivalent of Zeus, has a lot of lightning, which is generated by powerful storms fueled by ammonia and water in its turbulent atmosphere. The lightning is hundreds of times more powerful than Earth's and is frequently observed near the planet's poles, though it is absent near the equator. Unlike Earth's water vapor, Jupiter's thunderstorms are driven by clouds containing a mixture of ammonia and water. So lightning strikes on Jupiter are hundreds of times more powerful than those on Earth. Can you imagine that? The lightning is most often seen in the mid-latitudes and polar regions of the planet, with its northern hemisphere experiencing more strikes than the southern hemisphere. This is the opposite of Earth, where lightning is common near the equator. I wonder if there is some type of correlation with that. And here is an image of the lightning activity on Jupiter. It looks like the North Pole. Look at that. It's lit up. And look at this. This is NASA's Juno. Oh, don't want that. NASA's Juno spacecraft reveals Jupiter's unusual electrical storms, shallow lightning, and mush balls. That looks pretty cool. Not that I'd want to be there, but looks cool, right? Then we also have the Hindu equivalent of Zeus. We have Indra. He is the storm god of lightning, thunder, and rain, and the king of the gods, the Devas. He is a warrior deity who wields the lightning bolt known as the Vajra. And as we all know, Elon Musk, I can't remember what he posted, but he posted, I don't know if it was on his nightstand or if it was just a post he made about a Vajra a while back, but for some reason that's popping up into my mind recently, so there has to be a meaning for it. So we have the Vajra fights demons and ensures prosperity. That sounds like a good deal to me. So as detailed in ancient scriptures like the Rig Veda. So Indra, god of storms and lightning, Indra's primary domain is that of storms, thunder, and lightning. He is known for his power to bring life-giving rains. King of the gods, during the Vedic period, Indra was the chief deity and ruler of the heavens. While his prominence has diminished in later Hinduism, he is still considered the king of the lesser gods. He is a warrior god. He's a great warrior who battles and slays enemies, most famously the serpent of drought, Vritra, who hoarded the world's waters. His victory over Vritra released the rivers and brought fertility to the land. And this makes me think of the Klamath River, where we now have the salmon coming back to its native habitat. The Native Americans fought really hard to reclaim the river for the natural habitat, and it's so amazing because God, replenished the river like instantaneously. We had life brought back. So I think somehow this is related to finances, because we know that in the financial arena, a lot of the terms that deal with finances also have to deal with water. And we know that a lot of the water has been dammed up, especially in North America. We have bodies of water that have been dammed up, of course, for the use of electricity, but this also has an impact, I think monetarily in the financial arena. It's like the hoarding of wealth is how I see it. And if you take a look at the dates of when they started to make the dams, kind of correlates too with like the Federal Reserve, the creation of the Federal Reserve. So I could do a deep dive on that one. I don't know if I will though, because there's always seems like there's consequences when I do that. So Here's some artwork depicting Indra, and as you can see, we have the Vajra. Now, there is a link here because everyone's so interested in the number 88. You know, Back to the Future, the DeLorean, we have the Flux Capacitor, has to reach 88 miles per hour to be able to travel back to the future. So now if you take a look at the Vajra here that is depicted in this artwork, we have two Vajras creating an X, right? And X has also been in the forefront of on the world stage. So we all know that you have to decode. It's like a freaking video game, right? We see what they present to us on the world stage, so they're giving us X, right? What is X? We have two Vajras here crossing each other. And they're both in the shape of an 8, right? So this 88 has to deal with Mercury. Mercury takes 88 Earth days to travel around the sun. So, taking a look at the Vedic astrological system here, we have the nakshatra Jyestha, right? And Jyestha is known as the chief or elder ear. And it is ruled by the deity Indra, which we just discussed. And the ruling planet is Mercury. So Mercury also rules the Gemini, the Gemini zodiac. So Mercury is the messenger of the gods, and a lot of Geminis are really good speakers because they embody the planet Mercury. So there's a little bit of information for you. And also we have the male deer. This is important too, for so many reasons. But something interesting of note here is that the dianthus flowers are deer resistant. So the deer will not eat the dianthus flowers. For any of you gardeners out there, there's a little bit of information for you. And the symbol for the Jyestha Nakshatra is depicted as an umbrella, right? And then we also had a show recently. So the umbrella symbol has been embedded into our psyches through the show The Umbrella Academy. So these are just like little breadcrumbs, dots that we're supposed to connect. And as we decode them, I think, we unlock the mysteries which help us. I think the goal is to ascend, to get out of this 7-day. So I know this may sound crazy, but it feels like we've been in a loop, like a 7-day loop. And we just haven't been able to decode our reality. So it's like we've been stuck in this 7-day loop, just replaying itself over and over again. Just like on Groundhog's Day. And I know the point of Groundhog's Day was for him to become the best version of himself. But, he had to figure some things out before he could come to that conclusion. So anyways, The Umbrella Academy is an American superhero comedy drama television series based on the comic book series of the same name, written by Gerard Way, and published by Dark Horse Comics. So there's some symbolism there for you to decode as well. So, it revolves around a dysfunctional family of adopted sibling superheroes who reunite for their father's funeral and the threat of an imminent apocalypse. It's kind of like, what we're experiencing right now. Everyone's in the apocalyptic mindset, right? So, we have the storm. If anyone follows the Q drops, we know that the storm is upon us. And these are just like the little breadcrumbs. We have the Vajra that was put on X for the whole world to see. Also, recently, another 88 that I have discovered. Oh, and before I go into the other 88 that I just remembered about. So, sorry. So, we're looking at time travel also in the Umbrella Academy. If anyone's watched the TV show, you know that this guy here has... So, all the superheroes have their own abilities. And this guy here, his ability is to time travel. So, it's a pretty cool show, actually. I don't remember the character's name. But the subway will take the Hargreaves, and that last name is, it's making me laugh. And if any of you know me, you know why. The Hargreaves. I mean, they can't just throw it in your face any more than that. So, so the subway will take the Hargreaves to different points in time as a replacement for the televator. So this guy is always traveling back and forth through time, and, there's parallels to Marty McFly and him being able to travel back in time, with the DeLorean and whatnot. And any of you who've been keeping up with Elon Musk's SpaceX, he delivers 88 satellites into polar orbit. And this is also going to be used with the cryptocurrency network. So, if anyone knows anything about H-bar, you know that H-bar is going to be utilized with Starlink. So, Elon Musk led SpaceX has launched 88 satellites as part of Space-Time's Transporter 2 mission. So the Falcon 9 has launched 88 satellites. Now, what's interesting is we also have the constellations of the night sky. So these are a grouping of stars that represents one of the 88 divisions of the celestial sphere as defined by the International Astronomical Union. Many constellations are derived from old traditional asterisms, which are star patterns within a constellation. And here's a nice map of the constellations. If we take a look, there are 88 designated constellations. So you can take a further look at that. That's really not my main focus here, other than the 88 we keep seeing repeated over and over again. You know, the Flux capacitor, and the Flux is Flux, Lux, right? Lux means light. So there's also another little tidbit of information here to help further connect the dots. And here's going back to the Jyestha Nakshatra. This is located in Scorpio, the eldest star. You see here they also use an umbrella. Of course, one of the symbols here is magic, right? So you saw the Umbrella Academy. These people had, superhero abilities, which could also be seen as magic, if you will. The Vajra. What powers the Vajra? Could it be magic? I'll let you decide that. So the Jyestha Nakshatra is the power to rise, conquer, and gain courage. So you can take a further look here, and also the star here is Antares, Sigma Scorpion, Tau Scorpion. And also, when we're looking at the number 8 here, anyone who studies Kabbalah, you know that the 8th sphere of Hod is Mercury. We have Archangel Michael. Hod is the sphere of splendor, and of course the color orange. And as we know, orange has been the color the main attraction, right? Everything has been about the orange man. And just looking here, right? We're looking at astrochemical, physiological, and chromatic chart. We also see here Gemini, right? Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And again, it's the color orange. And taking a look at the tree of life here, just for a visual for you, we have the 8th sphere of Hod, which is splendor. And again, it's ruled by Archangel Michael. And we know, since Archangel Michael is the archangel that resides in the 8th sphere of Hod, which is ruled by Mercury. So we know that President Trump posted the prayer to Saint Archangel Michael on the X app. So, you may ask yourself, why is this happening? Well, it has a lot to do with the Kabbalah and the 8th sphere of Hod. And as we can see here with the caduceus, this is Mercury's rod, and you see the two serpents intertwined here. They form 2 8s, 88. So the wand entwisted by 2 serpents borne by Mercury as an ensign of quality in office. On metals, the caduceus is a symbol of good conduct, peace, and prosperity. The rod represents power, the serpent's wisdom, and the 2 wings, diligence and activity. And of course, going back to the Norse mythology and the number 8, we have Odin's horse, whose name is Sleipnir, a mythical 8-legged steed. So Sleipnir has 8 legs, symbolize incredible speed, and according to myth, he was born to Loki, who had transformed into a mare and a giant stallion. So Odin's horse, Sleipnir, is Odin's 8-legged horse, known for his supernatural speed. He is mentioned as the messenger of the god Odin, capable of traveling through the air, over sea, and to the underworld. And here we have an old picture of Odin with Sleipnir, the 8-legged horse. Take note that Odin is also carrying what appears to be a Vajra. Can also symbolize the number 8, just like we saw with Indra carrying the 2 Vajras, making like a number 88, if you will, an X. So I'm just going to end this video where I began, all related to the dianthus flower. Thanks for watching.